Thanks for joining me on this video! If this is your first time coming to this channel, my name is Sal Brigman, and I'm a blogger. I write about crowdfunding, about launching new products, being an entrepreneur, and also I have a podcast where I bring on successful entrepreneurs who have raised money on different crowdfunding platforms and really just break down and dissect exactly how they were able to do that. So where their pledges came from, how they marketed the campaign, all that kind of stuff. I wanted to talk about 3 things that I learned from the Whisky Elements Kickstarter campaign. And if you're not familiar, I had these guys on my podcast and they raised $195,000 on Kickstarter from 5,000 backers. But here's the kicker. They raised this off of an $18,000 goal. How cool is that? They raised all of this off of an $18,000 goal. How cool is that? They totally just smashed their goal. They hit a home run here. Well, maybe not even a home run, like a grand slam. And now they have a business set up doing what they love. If you want to listen to the podcast interview I did with this team, just go to the description and click the link, which will take you to my podcast on iTunes or on my website. It's about 30 minutes, so it's a little bit of a time investment, but I really recommend taking it on the go. You can listen while you're at the gym, while you're doing laundry, while you're running errands, in the car, anywhere. The first thing I learned from the Whisky Elements Kickstarter campaign is the importance of setting deadlines when you're executing on a new venture. I do this more than anyone, where I've had awesome ideas, where I've even gone to the lengths of doing a business plan, which now I don't do as much anymore. And I've registered the domain name, I've come up with the name for whatever this website or product is, and 4 months down the road, I haven't made any progress. But I think the key here is that the team really set a goal of getting serious about this project for a minimum of 30 days. They were really going to invest 30 days in taking this venture seriously and figuring out what it takes to take it to the next level. If you don't set that kind of a time deadline, you could end up working and just feeling like, well, I don't know if my work is really yielding any results. I don't know. I don't just want to be working on this thing senselessly for the next year and nothing happen. When you have a deadline, you can really see and track the progress that you're making at the beginning of that 30 days and after those 30 days. And what's funny is usually when we're starting some kind of a new website or a new venture, it really does take a significant time commitment in the beginning. There needs to be a bit of a snowball effect here. At least that's my experience and the experience of many of the entrepreneurs I brought on my podcast. So setting that deadline really helped this team execute and bring the Whisky Elements campaign to the public. I really recommend this if you're looking to launch a crowdfunding campaign or even a new venture and you just haven't done anything about it. Set a deadline and get started. Be serious about it for a specific amount of time. The second thing I learned from the Whisky Elements Kickstarter campaign and my interview with the team was how Kickstarter has not just become a way to raise money for a new product. If you've ever watched the show Shark Tank, and man, I'm a huge fan of that show. I love the way that they just showcased entrepreneurship and the American dream taking place. But if you watch it, you'll notice a thing called the Shark Tank effect. And just from being in the spotlight, a lot of companies are able to attract tons more orders and tons of new customers. And what I've noticed is that there's actually a Kickstarter effect. Just from being on Kickstarter and being in the spotlight, you can attract a whole new slew of early adopter customers and also the attention of brands. Believe it or not, this is how this team was actually able to attract the attention of Bacardi. So by doing a public Kickstarter or crowdfunding campaign, you're going to invite attention from potential retailers, from brand partners, not just customers. The third and final thing that I want to highlight is I really learned what it takes to set up a full-fledged e-commerce company. Most of us think that you just set up a Kickstarter campaign page and that's the end of it. Most of us think you're just going to set up a Shopify page and the orders are going to come tumbling in. But it doesn't quite work that way. There are a lot of systems that you have to create to fulfill orders. You have to set up, 1, the marketing funnel, 2, what actually happens when someone places an order, the manufacturing for that product, the fulfillment, the shipping, all that kind of stuff. And if you want to have any kind of sustainable presence on Kickstarter or have a business that people love, you need to figure out those systems. Because, I mean, the worst thing that can happen is you raise a bunch of money and you're not able to fulfill on your promises. For whatever reason, you're not able to ship out your rewards to your backers. How much would that suck? And how much would that tarnish your brand? So the key takeaway here is that you need to have systems in place, even if you are overfunded, as this team was, and didn't raise their $18,000 goal, they raised $195,000. You need to have systems in place to fulfill those orders and to really make sure that you can handle that kind of a quantity, that kind of an order flow. But there are a lot more things that I learned from my interview with the Whisky Elements team. And if you'd like to learn more and you'd like to see exactly where their pledges came from, where they got backers, and how they actually ranked better in the Kickstarter marketplace, go and check out the podcast. Invest 30 minutes of your day to listen to it. I promise you're going to get a lot out of it. And again, you can access that in the description of this YouTube video. Thank you so much for taking the time to just click on this link and watch this YouTube video. A lot of creators don't do that who are going to launch a crowdfunding campaign. So pat yourself on the back. That's awesome. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And also give me a thumbs up. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I will see you next time.